Hey, what's up folks? Let's start with the obvious, the release date, to head off some of the unavoidable accusations of clickbait. I always get questions of, when's the next version coming out? When is it releasing? As people really do want to know, and I always highlight the same thing, that the fun pimps never give firm dates, well, anymore, because they themselves don't really know. As we get closer, we might get some indication, but if you've been around for a while following the game, you know that when they say, we hope by next weekend, it normally means it's a month or two off. So as per the official word, it is done when it's done. No sooner, no later. Anyone who says that they know when it's coming out or tells you any date is engaging in pure speculation, which is of course cool. I suspect personally that we're about a year out from Alpha 21, which I will cover below. This video is really taking a look at some of the announced features of Alpha 21, how they're changing things up for this version, and of course, speculation. We do need some of that as well. If you do enjoy my videos, make sure to hit that thumbs up like button, subscribing, ring that notification bell so you get notified. Of course, why not write a comment below and let me know what you think will be coming in Alpha 21. So it's done when it's done. Well, that's clear, isn't it? A key point of Alpha 21 development is that they've decided to only include items in the development diary when they are confirmed as implemented. That is a big change from previous versions where they had a lot of aspirations and inclusion of things that they thought they could get done, which of course caused some to get pushed inevitably. If we take a look at what they have written on the forums, we'll see that there's only 3 confirmed features. The first being new places of interest, or PIs. They represent in effect all the buildings that they are developing, be it could be a new store, a new army camp, hotel, or whatever they decide to put in. Alpha 20 had a ton of new PIs. I think, was it 180, 280? There was just so many that I'm pretty sure that I have not gone through even half of the new ones because there's so much content. And of course, a lot of them don't show up on every map, which is cool. I love to explore, and a lot of people love to explore, and having more is good. I do, however, think they should defocus the PI building personally, because there are just so many other features that they should be better off implementing and not just having a big team creating new buildings. The second is updated and new decorative vehicle models. We've all seen the same old boring vehicles in the world, on the roads, on the parking lots, different colors, but they all are the same, except for the trucks, which are actually all the, the medical ambulance and the working stiff, which is also pretty much the same base anyway. But the Fun himself finally made up some unique models of SUVs and pickup trucks, MPV, and even a police car. I think that was about time. I'm surprised that they hadn't just purchased a bunch of Unity assets and used them a long time ago. Game developers often do purchase assets to get variety without the cost of making them from scratch, which I think is cool as long as it's not overdone. A car is a car regardless. It's not as if they're highly unique. The third item here relates to the random world generator, where in Alpha 20 we got a bunch of options to customize it as we generate a new world in the tool, and they're giving us more option. They do mention Biome Sliders, which is something we requested last time. I like having some desert, some wasteland, some snow, but sometimes I do want to tweak it and go heavy in some particular biome. Maybe I want to do a 80 wasteland and 20 snow maybe. And this will allow me to do that. I do have to admit that with the additional loot stage bonuses for snow and especially wasteland, and I think the desert as well, I really do love going to the wasteland cities to loot, so I do want to have them in there. And look at what Kinjayu says, this is what's currently included. So if you want more snow and no wasteland, you can go ahead and tweak that. So that's the end of the list, right? Well, maybe. Remember how Roland put up that only items confirmed implemented will be shown? Well, in the next post of Alpha 21 art, in the same post, he actually shows this, which of course represents bandits, the light, medium, and heavy version of one of the models. And that's a bit of a potential teacher. Maybe they meant that the art and characters are ready, but they're not the AI, so it's not included. Although personally, I would expect basic bandit support to be in there for Alpha 21. I think that by now they've pushed it for so many years that it's getting to be almost comical. I do like the look of them, and having multiple outfits for them, if they complete that for Alpha 21, that opens up the opportunities for the players, as we really need new looks for the players as well. And the outfit system was supposedly for both players and the bandits. Still, it's been teased but not confirmed. And that brings me to the release date. with only 3 items confirmed. I really think it's going to take quite a while before we get into Alpha 21, because otherwise we get no content. But let's speculate further. What other things could come into Alpha 21? To get an idea, let's look back at the Alpha 20 features which were pushed, supposedly, to Alpha 21. Let's talk about AI and sleeper improvements. That's been the topic for quite a while, about letting zombies go through 1-meter holes so that they can path through and crawl through. This was pushed to Alpha 21, as you can see, and the question is whether it gets done. One big reason why it didn't show up in Alpha 20 was that PIs were all built around a 2-meter height movement for all the zombies, and allowing 1-meter height would change how the zombies path around the PIs that have been pre-made. And they would have to go through the PIs just to tweak them to make sure that the zombies would move the way they wanted. I can definitely see this being a feature that makes it into Alpha 21 unless they run into some big technical challenges. That said, in some previous versions, wolves and dogs would go through 1-meter holes if they had no other route. So at least at some point the engine had that capability. Next is the character overhaul, and this is the whole change to the looks of the characters, the thematic outfits, and so on. I suspect that what they wrote will get updated and tweaked, so I wouldn't take that as gospel, but as noted, they've already started on this way back in Alpha 20, and maybe even Alpha 19, I don't know. So I think this will really make it into Alpha 21. I hope they don't just give it 4 slots, because that's a little bit too little for customization, but sort of merge in some way what we have right now with their vision for simplicity to give us sufficient customization. There were a lot of comments around some of the outfits in the past, and that likely contributed to this being pushed to the future to ensure that it's properly completed before they release it. Now, the last push feature was the water overhaul, which is something which has been teased for, or at least implied, for years, and that's an understatement. I'm honestly not sure it's coming in Alpha 21, however, because if they fix water, which maybe they can do, I know they've had some problems doing that in a good way that is not CPU intensive, but just fixing water and nothing else doesn't really have any benefit, unless you include having boats, maybe rafts, scuba diving, underwater POIs to make it richer. Maybe you'd have to have some, zombie alligator or something, because I don't see that additional items being implemented for Alpha 21. And then putting in the water, yes, it'll make water a little bit better, but that's a lot of effort for very little use. Still, I might be proven wrong. I think we're all very anxious to hear more about what's coming. There has been some chatter in response to the current Alpha 21 development diary, but due to lack of information, I think it's still been fairly muted. It's just not a lot out there. But what do you think will come to Alpha 21, and when do you expect it? Why not give me your speculation along with the hopes and dreams for release date? Catch you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.